What is up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. The Last of Us, episode 9, the season finale. Thank God. But see, I don't even know why. First of all, the only reason I watch HBO is for the DC content. That's pretty much it. There's a couple movies here and there, a couple old shows here and there, but for the most part, there's really nothing to watch. So I don't know why I'm glad this show's over with because all they're going to do is put some other garbage SJW subpar piece of crap to fill that spot until they come up with the second garbage season, which is going to be even worse. And anybody that's saying, I can't wait for season 2, you already know what season 2 is going to be. So if you're saying that you can't wait for it, you look forward to it, you're lame. Because you know the second game was lame. They've turned the first game lame with this. Like, all the stuff in the first game that I didn't really... First of all, I didn't notice the stuff that they're blowing up in this show. You know, so it wasn't that big of a deal. For all the people that are like, well, it was in the game, it was in the game. Well, guess what? I was too busy curb stomping zombies' heads in and shooting people in the face with shotguns to sit there and worry about, you know, two guys being in love or whatever like that. And you already know why it wasn't pushed in the game like it is in the show, because nobody would have bought the game, just like nobody cared about the second game. So stop. I don't want to hear that. But with this episode, they did what they did with the other ones that I brought up. They just give you a bunch of filler till the end. Because I remember looking down at the timer at the bottom and being like, wait a second, it's 2/3 over with and they've done absolutely nothing. The only thing meaningful that they showed you was Ellie's origin, I guess you could call it, which wasn't anything to begin with. It's like, okay, so you stole Blade's origin for hers. Okay. Like, stop it. But there's a part in here that just, it kind of encapsulates why I think this show is just so terrible. There's a part where he's saying something, Joel, I'm talking about Joel and Ellie, he's saying something to her, like, as far as, like, not losing hope, or what they're doing isn't pointless, or whatever. He's just like, you're gonna find something else worth fighting for, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, this is the most basic, like, where are the writers? Because they couldn't have had writers. If they had writers, where did they hire them from? What kind of experience did they have? Because you could have just got an 8th grader and been like, write something. Okay, you played that game, The Last of Us, right? Okay, we're making a show of it. Write something that you think is really deep and meaningful. And that's something that somebody that has no life experience, no creativity, no writing skills, no nothing would come up with. You could come up with that off the top of your head. It was... Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that's great writing. Right now. Put a comment and be like, yeah, when he was telling her that was Pulitzer Prize winning writing. That's, man, if it was a feature film, it definitely would have been nominated for a Golden Globe or an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Tell me that. Go ahead. Tell me that. Just lie. I mean, because y'all been lying anyways. Talking about this show is great. You love it. And I don't doubt that some people love it, because there's people that watch The Voice and Dancing with the Stars, and they eat it up. And no, sorry, I don't get down like that, and a lot of other people don't. We actually demand quality. But so then they run into the soldiers, more soldiers, and they've already ruined it. They don't know anything about setting things up for payoffs later. You've already proved that any soldier or any military group or militia that you have in this doesn't know what they're doing. You can escape. You can kill all of them with one person. You can kill all of them with a shotgun. You don't even need a high caliber rifle with, you know, an extendo clip. All you need is a garden variety shotgun. You can take out a whole militia in this. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this show has been mapped out just to perfection. Go ahead, expose yourself. What was the other thing? Okay, the bad CGI giraffes. That's like when they showed them far away. I couldn't really tell. I have a big old TV, so I wasn't sitting there like looking. But when they had the close up, when they first showed the first giraffe and they're feeding them the plants and stuff, that CGI was bad. It looked like they were standing in front of a bad green screen. Tell me I'm wrong. Once again, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you didn't look at that and be like, man, that looks like really unnatural and off. Where did the money go? Because I read something about, don't quote me on it, but it was something, some crazy amount of millions of dollars for each episode. And I was like, where is it going? Where is it going? Because it ain't going to the sets. It definitely ain't going to the CGI. I mean, you got the Mandalorian. I'm sure his, his check is a little bit more than everybody else's. But who else are they paying? Because I don't know where that money's going. Somebody's laundering money with this show. That money's going somewhere and it ain't going to the production because this show is garbage. What was after that? Oh, and then again we have to have and I know someone's gonna be like, it's based off of the game with the lady leading the weak ass militia that they had. I don't care. I don't care. Because if that's the case, then the game was weak. In a post-apocalyptic situation, you're not going to have women running things. Sorry women. Sorry feminine men. You're not going to have women doing it. You're not. Tell me I'm wrong with that. Tell me when the nukes hit, because we're helping Yugoslavia or whatever it is, Ukraine, and and in a few years when everything goes down, tell me when you're roaming the countryside with a machete and a gun and some medical supplies and you run into some people, tell me if you think that they're going to be led by a woman. Go ahead, tell me that. Tell me that with a straight face. Oh, wait, it'll be impossible for anybody that likes the show to have a straight face. What else? Boggle? I hope they got a check for Boggle. Because I seriously don't know anybody that's ever played Boggle in my entire life. Except for homeschool kids. So, and that's pretty much who this show is aimed for, is homeschooled people. If you've ever, some transparency here. I got bamboozled into going to college for theater. It was one of the most miserable experiences of my life being in classes with these homeschooled dork losers. Just clueless. They're like aliens, but not even cool aliens. Because if you ran into some aliens, you'd be like, man, you got a ship? Man, you look all crazy. You got a ray gun? Wow. Can you, go back in time or what? You know what I'm saying? You'd have a cool time hanging out. No, these are like lame aliens. These are like aliens that you immediately want to shoot in the head with a nail gun. And then what happens in the end? They stretch it a little bit. Pause. I don't know if that's pause. Really, I'm going to say pause. But they stretch it a little bit farther out than the end of the game. Because if I recall the end of the first game, it just ends with them in the car and them driving. And you're like, oh, man, okay, cool. He sacrificed her. Which I like the ending of the game. The first game, I don't know anything about the second game. Never going to play it. Never want to. But they stretched it out a little bit, and I don't understand the reason why. Because like I said, he's like, tell me the fireflies, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Joel has mowed down everybody that's came in his path. Why is him or anybody else going to be worried about these fire? Why are they going to be some kind of threat in the future? Why? Because nothing that they've set up in this first season have showed you that they should be scared of anything. They kill whoever confronts them and tries to put them in a sticky situation. They get through every situation. There's no adversity, especially when it comes to enemies. And the big thing that ruined the whole world, which I'm still confused about, is why they haven't. It's been 20 years and the world still whatever. I guess they gotta do certain things just to keep the lame story going. But, oh man, I completely forgot what I was about to complain about. But the whole point is they haven't set up anything. It's not like they set in any jewels or any seeds to where you're like, oh man, when that pays off next season, woo! They tell me what they've set up that has you like, okay, go back. This is deep cut right here. Star Trek Next Generation. Do you remember when they first showed the Borg, right? They first showed the Borg. You had to wait a while. They just showed you the Borg real quick, You didn't see the actual. I think you might have seen one of the Borg people. I can't remember. It's been so long. But you saw the Borg cube ship. And they immediately let you know that the Federation cannot hang with them and they need to get out of there. So Q brought, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Because this is an actual good show. Star Trek The Next Generation. That's an actual good show. Not like this show, The Last of Us. But Q brings the Enterprise back to known space. And they're like, how long is it going to take until that ship that we ran into gets here? And they're like, it's going to be like 3 years or something. So you had to wait. But while watching the episodes, you had that seed. You were like, yo, when that cube ship shows up, it's about to be a whole nother ball game. They set up nothing. And if they did, I didn't catch it. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but if you're going to set up something like that, especially to have a show that you need some kind of longevity or some kind of, anticipation for it, I didn't catch it. Sorry. The Last of Us episode 9, the season finale. It's just, here, I'm going to real quick just summarize. For me, it just seemed like the same thing over and over again. That's why I stopped liking Walking Dead until Negan came. Negan for a little bit, but then I went back to not watching it. But there's only so long I can just see the same backgrounds. There's only so long I can just see episode after episode of the same type of dialogue. Same vibe, different words. There's only so long. And granted, like I said before, if this show came out early 2000s, yeah, because we haven't been trained. We haven't been spoiled with all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I could possibly have been into it. But just with the sheer amount of things and high quality things, and I'm going to say it again because people haven't seen it. The Road, The Rover, Light of My Life, Book of Eli. Those things do this with that vibe and do it so much better. So watch those. 0 to 10 dog bones. See, man, I don't want to be giving a 0 dog bone rating because, I like my dude, The Mandalorian. I'm so glad The Mandalorian show is back. And I'm not trying to totally trash him. Because I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him that he gets a raise for next season of The Last of Us. That's about it. I mean, you already know they're going to kill him off. So, I mean, hopefully he gets something out of it. But, man. 1. I'll give it 1 dog bone. 1 dog bone. That's it. All right. It's over with. I need to find another show to complain about for a couple years until the next season comes out. If you have any suggestions of things that you just want me to totally not like and nitpick and find the smallest thing to complain about, let me know. I'm totally willing to check it out and just have my arms crossed and hate